Cancer, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Cancer Tarot love reading. This Cancer reading today, we're going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. So let's get started. Let's get one card for what's the mutual point of interest between Cancer and their romantic. Alrighty, huh? Not going to let me finish my sentence. Cool. What's going on with you, Cancer? It has been a minute. What's going on with Cancer as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection? It's been too long. I can see. Okay. I can see. My apologies. It's not that I've disappeared. I've been doing a lot of personal readings and a lot of writing, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff I'm trying to get like fully finished and online for you here so I can give it to you, but we got too much happening for you. I normally get 3 cards. I just got 5 in your energy. What is going on with your person, Cancer? What's going on with Cancer's person of interest? Okay, we got extra cards here too. We got some big shit happening, I would say. Oh, God. Overall energy of this reading, the World. This is the final card of the major arcana. This is ending of one cycle and at the same time the beginning of the next cycle. Like when one door closes, another one opens type of a thing. I'm not sure. Do we have like an ending and then a whole brand new beginning? Sometimes people end something and then like start a new beginning at the same damn thing. And like I got history past right behind it. This is Scorpio energy of the past, thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way things used to be. It can be something from the past coming back up again, something from the past happening again, someone from the past. Now, this could be saying we have an ending and a new beginning with someone from the past happening. There is forward movement, romantic actions in the background with the Knight of Cups, actions toward love and emotions, forward movement in that arena. And then King of Cups behind that. This would be Scorpio energy. This would be Pisces energy. The World represents the 4 fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. You could be dealing with any of these signs. I got some more Pisces, some Aquarius, some Aries, Libra, Gemini, Capricorn. You could be dealing with any sign. This is a collective reading, so it's going to be impossible for me to pin down exactly who you're dealing with as an individual person because I'm not tapping into your individual energy the same way I would if I was doing a personal reading with you, just me and you one-on-one. I'm tapping into thousands of Cancer people at the same time, so I can't tell you exactly who you're dealing with, so I'm just going to call out the signs as they stick out to me in case that means something to you. But this is Scorpio energy. It's someone that you probably have a lot of love and emotions for. They could have a lot of emotions for you too, but the King of Cups doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He doesn't like publicly broadcast how he feels about things, good or bad. So this could be a spot where maybe you don't know exactly how this person feels because they're pretty good at keeping that to themselves. I have forward movement and past here and a lot of feelings. I just don't know if they're being expressed. I got 5 of Pentacles behind that. This is Taurus energy of abandonment. This is being cast aside, discarded, being left out in the cold. This is like a breakup, leave someone behind kind of an energy. That's the gist of what it looks like this is going to talk to me about. We might have to come back to that, but this shared energy affects both of you here in June 2025 in some way. It doesn't always affect you the same way. Sometimes they do this and you feel the consequences. Sometimes they say or do something else and it makes you feel this energy or this state. Sometimes it's something external happening. And we got the Ace of Cups as that shared energy, a new beginning in love and emotion. So I've got an ending and a new beginning happening at the same time. This card about the past, I don't know if that's someone else from the past and this is a new cup of love, as in like a new beginning with someone else, or if this is the two of you contemplating getting back together and this is like the recombining of it all. This could even be that you just recently got out of a relationship and here's a new one already. So I'm going to have to clarify this and see what this is trying to tell me. And why is this Shared energy affecting Cancer. We got so much happening here. What is going on? This. Oh, this. Okay. Jeez. What's underlying this new cup of love, whether that's with a new person or starting over at square one, I get the Fool. So this doesn't answer anything yet. This is the first card of the tarot deck. It's the card that comes after the last card. Like, this is full cycle beginning to end, ending of that cycle and starting a new one again. So this is the first card. So it's a new beginning at something. It's a blind leap of faith on something where I don't know. We don't know what the steps are or how this works out in the end. We're just saying screw it and we're going to leap off the cliff and we'll figure it out on the way down. I don't know. Is this some new thing? Because this can be foolish behavior, unnecessary risk taking risks outside of a connection. It's some kind of a new beginning. I don't know if it's starting over between the two of you yet or like this ending in something new beginning. I got the Three of Wands right behind it. This is Aries energy. This is waiting. Like this is part of the story of manifesting. In part one, there's the Two of Wands. It's this choice about what do I want my life to be like and what do I want to put my effort and my action into. And at this stage, that choice is made. I've chosen what I want. I've started down the path. I'm taking actions to get this thing that I want. And I fully expect the thing I want will happen. It just hasn't yet. And I'm waiting on it. This is like waiting to be able to take a leap of faith is what this feels like. Waiting to be able to cut something away. The Ace of Swords in the background. This is the sword you make decisions with. It's the sword that you would cut something or someone out of your life with. The sword you would sever a connection with. And there's some barrier in the way, something blocking being able to do that in this leap of faith. It could be we have a cycle coming to an end of some previous connection one way or the other, and that hasn't ended all the way yet. It could be that. But this could just as easily be somebody has a new cup of love and they're ready to leap on that and they have to wait before they can cut something else away first so they can have this new thing. When I clarify Ace of Cups, I get the Devil as the first clarifier, the King of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, King of Swords. Like this is very, very weird energy. Like first thing that's really jumping out at me is King of Swords and King of Cups, both in this energy. That's two different kings. So we could have two different masculine energies involved here. But these are kind of like opposites of each other or counterbalances of each other is probably a better way to put it. This is the emotional end of the spectrum of decision makers. So this person, when they decide, they're going to decide based on how something feels, not necessarily based on what they see. They're going to feel their way through it. And this would be someone who throws their feelings out the window. And I'm looking at the truth and the facts and what's right in front of me and what can I see with my eyes and verify it to be true. And I'm going to decide based on that. I don't give two shits how anybody feels. So these are either a decision-making style. If you're one or the other 100% of the way, it's unbalanced. You kind of need both pieces there. But this doesn't feel like balance. I do have the Two of Pentacles in the middle of all that, which is it's a card of balance, but this is more about trying to maintain my balance or trying to get my balance back once it's been thrown off. This is some sort of a choice between these two things, these two physical things, and I can't have both of them, and I have to pick one, and it's like this one or that one, and back and forth about it, weighing the options, looking at pros and cons, do I or don't I, and it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, not committed all the way. I get this a lot when someone's juggling two people and they can't make up their damn mind which one they want, and there could be like a battle between their head and their heart, like their emotions say one thing and common sense and logic says something else. it all starts with the devil, though, which is Capricorn's major arcana. This is heavy toxic energy. This is obsessive energy. It could be an addiction to something, or an addiction to a person, or an addiction to a connection. This is usually some element of toxicity in the connection or the environment, or one of the two people in this shared energy. This is a distorted energy. These are the same two people from the Lover's card, and here they have chains around their neck and they've grown horns and tails because being in this distorted toxic connection is changing who they are. It's distorting them. But this is oftentimes a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like I can't escape from it. This thing has control of me and I don't have any control of it. And it's like, I feel trapped. They have chains around their neck, but it's just a loop. It's just like, I can take this over my head and now it's not on me anymore. And same with them. They could take the loop off of their head. They could take their head out of the loop, but they're not, because their head's in the loop and they don't think they can escape. They don't think they can leave. This is a lot of times in a connection that at the beginning looked exactly like the thing you want. Only it's not. It's an illusion. It's there to masquerade as the thing that you want and get you to convince yourself that it is the thing that you want. And that's how you get your head in the loop. That's how you get stuck in the trap. And it's also why it's so hard to break free from a connection like that, because it's convincing that this is what I want. And it's really not. It's really just bleeding you to death. And this is one of those energies that only has the power over us that we voluntarily give to it by not taking our head out of the loop and facing it. And it always carries some element of denial, some element of pain that hasn't been fully healed yet. And it ends up creating scenarios where it's running the show and you're not. And that kind of heavy, toxic, obsessive energy is tied to feelings that I have about this person, or tied to this person. One of those two things. It might not be clear which of those two things. Which is it? I got this Knight of Swords running back to the past. Fastest knight in the deck. This is rushing forward and taking this decisive action on something. But it's usually not the dude who reads the instructions first. This is the dude who just starts mashing buttons, and before you know it, he's wrecked everything. And before he stops to think about it, it's too late. He's already done something that he can't change. And there's this past energy. I've got the past energy here. It's even weird in this particular deck. The Knight of Cups normally goes the opposite direction of this. The Knight of Cups is normally moving into the future, and this one's moving back to the past too. And there's that King of Cups that's out here behind it. And then there's that abandonment kind of energy tied to King of Cups, who's moving towards something from the past, which is something that's probably already ended and is restarting here. This looks like somebody has someone coming back and they're doing a new fling with that person. This could even be them having all these feelings for that person that they've kept to themselves and you don't really know about it. And it's really some obsession of theirs. There's definitely a new cup here, and there's definitely an undecided, some undecided thing here. And someone has already done something before they thought about it, and now I have King of Swords after that, which is the logical, rational mind. It's the conscious mind. Notice I said rational. Like, immediately the first thing that happened in my head when I said that is I got somebody doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, leaping before they look, for sure, like doing stuff before they think about it, and then the rational mind rationalizing the actions that I've already taken. Like, this is spur of the moment, impulsive, not thought out first. And this is the very thought out kind of an energy. That really feels like I'm acting on base level urges, unconscious drivers that I'm not privy to myself, and emotions. and I'm not thinking first when I do something. I don't know, like this is shared energy. It affects you both. I don't know if there's an element of that for each of you, or if that's this person and it's just, that's why it's here. It's affecting you. I'm not sure yet. And if I'm being real with you, it's not uncommon at all that at this early stage in the shared energy, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about yet. This doesn't normally make sense to me until I get part of the way through your energy, and then I can see how it connects. And I'll come back to it again when I go through your person's energy. But we got a lot here, so let's do it. We got first card for you is the most important. We get the Moon. Central for you, King of Swords. Okay, final card came out as 3 all on its own. Normally I get 3 period, and I got 5 for you. I got 6 of Swords, the Magician, and the 4 of Wands. I got Manifestor all over that. But this, okay, we'll just go through it. The Moon is sometimes fear, worry, and anxiety from uncertainty. Like when the moon's out and it's dark, you can't see the full path ahead of you. It's easy to get questioning whether I'm on the right path or not. Was this even the right path to begin with? Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Or did I make a wrong turn back there and maybe I go back? I don't know what to do. I got off balance energy for sure. The other thing the moon can represent besides that kind of anxiety and fear is something being hidden in the dark, some secret being kept, something that you don't know about at this early stage. Normally in these readings, it's kind of chronological order, like this already happened and this is getting more current and this is probably where we are now. It doesn't always work that way. So this looks like at some point in the past, there was something going on that you were not aware of. What's happening with the moon, please? It's also like an unconscious mind energy. It's an intuition energy. Part of the meaning of the moon is like you don't always have to see your way through something. Sometimes you can just navigate by how it feels or by what your intuition is telling you. Underlying this something hidden, fear, worry, anxiety, energy, I got Page of Wands. Pages are messengers. This is news and messages and communications about passion and desire, passionate messages, expressing interest, expressing desire, talking about what I want. It's the minor arcana version of the Fool that we just had on the bottom of the deck, but this is a more toned down version. The Fool just leaps off the cliff, and this is someone who has the willingness to take the first step down some new path toward something there's passion and desire for. I've got the Star in the background. So this is the Aquarius Major Arcana. This is a card of hope. It's a card of healing. It's a card of sometimes wish fulfillment or feeling like someone is the one or feeling like guided towards something. The negative part of this is the card that comes after the Tower. So you don't make it to this Star energy until some important thing in your life collapses all around you. And when that happens, it's really hard to see what do I do moving forward from here, because everything I expected is now in ruin. And, you know, all the plans that I made are not going to pan out now. And it's like, what do I do with all that? Like the belief I had in something has shattered. And now this is like the guiding light, the hope that pulls you through. It's like not being able to see clearly, but having the willingness to take the first step here. And the hope that that's going to be going in the right direction toward this 3 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy of teamwork and collaboration and working together as equals to build something of value. This is laying the foundations for building the 10 of Pentacles, where we combine our lives together and build a life together. This is like the groundwork for that. And then there's 2 of Cups in the background, Cancer energy. This is a connection, an emotional connection between 2 people. It's also a 2, and 2s are about choices. So this is a choice about this connection. It can sometimes represent a choice between more than one connection. Looming in the background here, behind this hope for teamwork and building it together. I'm not understanding how I got something hidden here. And I know it's something hidden, because of this first clarifier. 7 of Swords is lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around, trying to get away with something. That's what's being hidden. And I've referenced like passionate communications and then hope that we can lay the foundations for the 10 of Pentacles. But this feels like a connection in the background every bit as much as it feels like you two have a choice about this connection. I feel like there's already something hidden, which is why this is so deep under the surface. And there's the sneaking around deceptive energy, the trying to keep something secret hidden in the dark. And I realize this is your energy, but I would say at least 80% of the time, this whole first column ends up being this person's stuff showing up over here, because what they're doing is affecting you and it's pushed its way into the front of your energy here. So after we have this something hidden and this sneaky deceptive energy, I get 10 of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. And the 10 of Pentacles is that combined together life that this would be laying the foundations for. Combining lives together, building a life together. This is like when you're engaged, when you live together, when you're married and you're building something. And then we got Queen of Wands. And this is not your Cancer. Your card is the Queen of Cups. Most of the time when I get Queen of Wands in this type of a context, it represents the other woman, like the fire element queen, the hot queen, the one that's got all the passion and desire and attraction aimed at her. So there's this idea of combining together a life with this person, and it's surrounded by the person that there's all this attraction for and sneaking around and things being hidden. Central for your energy is the King of Swords. We talked about that down here. This is Aquarius energy. This is the logical, rational, thinking, conscious mind. Like very smart, very logical decision-making kind of an energy. It can be emotionally detached. If this is you, this is logic and reason trying to tell you something. Because we've got like some emotional, intuitive, unclear, cloudy, can't see it all the way kind of thing going on. And this would be like laser focused conscious mind, seeing facts like truth. It can also represent someone who is trying to rationalize something. That this is not a person who doesn't have emotions. It's a person who generally doesn't like what their emotions are telling them, or doesn't like what their intuition is telling them. And they try to throw that stuff out the window and then think it away and come up with a reasonable, logical explanation for why I feel like something's hidden and why I feel like there's this sneaky stuff going on. Or that could be you having facts and trying to make decisions based on facts. Okay. I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups here. 4 emotional energies. And then logic and reason screaming at the top of its lungs. The Fool is underlying all of this. The King of Swords, if you could call them cold, sure. Calculated, sure. Emotionally distant, sure. Ruthless, sure. Fool, hell no. He is not an idiot. This is the dude with plan A and plan B and probably plan C just in case that don't work out. That's the very smart, well thought out mind energy. And on the bottom, there's this risk-taking, wild, screw it, let's just do it, let's just go for it. And that's common sense and logic going, do not be a fool. Wait. This is they're waiting to take a leap of faith on cutting something away. And in the meantime, they're more than happy to hide it and sneak around. They're juggling 2 people. And the way you feel about them, and the potential that you see in who they could be is the thing that keeps you trapped. This is I'm giving this person all of this credit for like emotions and happiness. I'm giving them all that credit, but that's not what is happening here. They're not worthy of that credit. That seems very, I'm looking at them for how I wish they were, as opposed to looking at them for what they're showing me, through what they're hiding from me. When I clarify this King of Swords energy, I get the 5 of Wands and then 4 cup cards in a row. 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 8 of Cups, Ace of Cups. This is very clear what this is saying. This first card is a Leo energy. 5s are conflict and Wands are about desires. This is a conflict in your desires, an internal conflict, where there's these different pieces of yourself that are looking at this different ways and they want different things. And this is about like where a piece of me is being very common sense logical about this. There's a reason why I feel like something's hidden. It's because something is hidden. And then there's this other piece of you that just wants to be back together, that just wants to fill the cup back up, that just wants to hang on and stay stuck in this limiting belief of this person is my King of Cups. Like that would make them the counterpart to you. Your Queen of Cups, their King of Cups. They build the 10 of Cups, the happily ever after, the true love, the happy fairy tale ending. But that does not include the devil. This is the internal conflict between those different parts of yourself, especially between your unconscious mind and your conscious mind, your intuition, your logic and reason, your emotions and how deeply you feel about this person. Is it conflict with what the truth and the facts are? So this is like the struggle that you're having, it looks like, between my head and my heart, between what I wish to be true versus what I know to be true. Like probably wanting to end the cycle of not being together and get back with this person from the past, and see, even moving romantically toward the past, toward King of Cups, who abandoned you and left you single by yourself to go off in search of this new opportunity they have. And they probably got the fuck out of Dodge when they did it and ran straight to 3 of Cups. So there's Queen of Wands. See, I just didn't go deep enough before. The whole story is right there. It's just sometimes we wouldn't understand what it's meaning until we get so far. So I've got 3 of Cups next, which is Cancer energy. This has got a couple of meanings. It can be about being united and celebrating, or in this case, like reunited, getting back together and celebrating. The other thing it can mean is love triangle. We got 3 cups of love in the picture. I saw the connection in the background. But if you're 1 cup and they're 1 cup, who the hell is this new cup? Like, that's the new person. That's the person they're sneaking around with and keeping it hidden. And see, you've got this build a life together thing here. And I don't know if that means you're married to this person. It could mean that. It could mean that you live with this person, or that you're engaged, or that you're long-term, like have already kind of combined your lives together in a lot of senses. Or that could even just mean that that's where you believed this was going to go. And this is like the being reunited part of that. But then I have 4 of Cups with it, which is more Cancer energy. This is about not being fully emotionally happy or content with what you have in front of you. So much so that I'm daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that might make me happy. It's interesting. We got 3 cups is what the person isn't happy with. Now, does that mean I'm not happy when we're together? I'm not happy that we haven't been reunited and I can't quit thinking about them? Could mean that. It could also mean that now that I see there's a third cup involved, I can't get that other person you brought in out of my head. And that card is sitting directly next to what would be the woman there's all the attraction and passion and desire for. Then I have 8 of Cups, which is emotional. It's Pisces energy of emotionally detaching and then physically detaching and walking away. This person is walking away from 8 full cups of love because it's not good enough. I think there's something better out there for me. So this could be your person thinking the grass is greener on the other side of the fence because when you guys are together, they can't get this other person out of their head. This could be you still can't get this other person out of your head and they've gone off to see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence with her. This could even be logical mind chiming in and saying, look at the facts that are in front of you, because the best you've ever gotten out of this person is 8 cups, and you deserve better than 8 cups. The 9th cup, your own personal happiness, you deserve that, but you aren't getting it here. The 10th cup, the happily ever after, the true love where they pour themselves into you every bit as hard as you pour yourself into them and it's equal, you ain't never getting that here. 8 is the best they can do. This person has a lot of work to do to correct all these distortions inside themselves, but this always carries denial with it. They don't think they need to go do any work. To them, they rationalize it. They're fully justified. They don't think something is in control of them. They think they are in control. And you can't get what you deserve here. This is about recognizing that and then having to make the very difficult choice to walk away from these 8 cups to go down this new path toward your own happiness, toward what you want and deserve, because they can't give it to you. Ace of Cups, I would say that this is very valid advice for you. I would say that that's what your common sense and logical mind is trying to tell you. This is also very likely them detaching from you and going to see if the grass is greener to go toward this new cup. And the new cup is out here in both decks. It's the shared energy affecting you both. There's 2 things on yours. I read these in columns, but then I connect it in rows as I go. And we don't have a full row here. We've got detaching and walking away and a new cup. And then your final card came out as 3. We got the 6 of Swords, the Magician, and the 4 of Wands. 6 of Swords is Aquarius energy. It's about moving forward into calmer waters, leaving these rough, choppy waters of your past behind you, in the past where they belong. It's about moving forward. It's about leaving something behind and moving away from pain. This is the 6 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords has already happened. The 5 of Swords is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or a painful event. It can be a betrayal. It can be big fights. It can just be someone that you're dealing with that has this winning at all cost attitude. Like they don't care if you get hurt. As long as they get what they want, that's all they're worried about. This implies that type of a thing has already happened and there's nothing you can do to change it because it's already happened. This is about you having the control in what you do moving forward. And the implied choice here is, do I carry the burden that this painful situation has caused me? Do I carry that burden forward with me? So it continues to happen. So it continues to weigh me down. So I stay stuck and trapped and in pain? Or do I carry forward the lesson that this painful thing taught me so that it doesn't ever happen to me again? That's the choice that you have. There is a leaving something behind and a moving away from pain energy here. And then these next 2 cards, the Magician and the 4 of Wands, they're both connected to each other. This is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester of the Tarot deck. It's about a person's thoughts and actions shaping the world around them to be in alignment with what their will desires. It's about creating what I want, manifesting what I want. He's got the 4 aces in front of him. The aces are the ones of the four suits, which represent 1111, the number of manifesting. And then I got the four of wands with it. And those four wands also represent 1111. And in the story of manifesting, I think I said something about it earlier. You start with the 2, the choice of what I want to create. And then you're in the 3 where you're taking all the actions and aligning your will behind the actions and waiting on the thing to actually materialize. Well, this is when it manifests. It's when it appears in stable physical reality, and it's here and I can celebrate it. So I got these 2 manifesting energies. This is sometimes considered a marriage card, or at the minimum a celebration of home and family. But there's this moving away that happens first. And I will be completely honest with you, most of the time when I get the Magician, it's not really the person I'm reading for as much as it's talking to me about the person whose thoughts and actions created this thing I'm reading about right now. So this is probably their energy and them manifesting something that they want. And the thing they want is here, which could be what they were waiting on in order to detach from this. I did see that 3 of wands that felt like it was talking about them waiting on something here. So I'm going to clarify this and see what this is trying to tell you. Like, see how much is like all of it's trying to come out at once. It's all trying to get away. There's too much in your energy right now. Going on. And see, like, as much as was trying to bubble over, like I shuffled the rest of the way through and got nothing. So there's just like a lot of swirling energy, man. It's almost like when you have a water balloon and you shake the shit out of it and then you stop and you can see all the bubbles swirling. That's what your emotions and energy feels like to me. It's like knocking me all over. Ace of Swords is underlying this energy. This is the sword of truth, the sword of victory. It's the sword you make decisions with. It's the sword you use to sever something, to cut something or someone out of your life with. And there's the Fool, the blind leap of faith, the new beginning. This looks like a clean sever and just going for it. And then there's this Taurus energy of a period of time in the background. This is like he's planted seeds to something and he can't harvest it yet because it's not finished growing. It's not all the way developed yet. He can't get anything out of this yet. He's still waiting on it to mature all the way. This is almost like, dude, I've waited and waited and waited until I could get to this spot where I could just cut and run. That's what that feels like. I think that's what they have created. I think they were sneaking around before you knew they were sneaking around. And no matter how many pieces of truth come out here, you still have this conflict because of all the feelings that you have tied to this person. Yeah, there's this period of time behind them being able to cut bait and run, and behind that is that waiting energy again. That's the card that comes right before this. Ta-da, here it is. It has arrived. Oh man, oh man. And see, even in this shared energy, I've got that juggling thing going on in this. I got 2, but I have to pick one, and I haven't yet. I haven't made the actual decision, but at some point, boom, off to the races. And then rationalizing why I did it. I don't like this energy. When I clarify your 6 of Swords, Magician, 4 of Wands, I get Temperance, the High Priestess, 6 of Cups, and the Hermit. Temperance is Sagittarius major arcana energy. This is patience. This is also like blending 2 things together to make something new, but being willing to make adjustments along the way. Try to get things fine-tuned and balanced and adjusted so they're just right. This can also represent reconciliation. I've got the 3 of Cups out here, which can mean being reunited and celebrating. This Ace of Cups can represent wanting to start over at the beginning and put everything back into this one blended together cup. And here the love, the water is love, and it's been separated into two cups, different cups, and she's recombining it back into one. So this really feels like we got this deceptive, sneaking behind your back, lying to you, cheating on you energy, this internal conflict between your head and your heart, and still winding up in this spot where I have a choice. Do I carry this burden that's been weighing me down into the future so it keeps weighing me down so they can keep manifesting all this bullshit I don't want? But then there's still this, nah, let's adjust it. Let's make adjustments to it. Let's blend it back together. Let's be more patient. And then it's got the high priestess tied to it. And I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, this is the intuition. It's the gut feelings. It's the signs. It's the dreams with messages. It's the internal knowing. And this temperance card, when they're together on the surface, that would look like, I just know I'm supposed to be patient. I just know I'm supposed to be with them and we're going to recombine back together. I just know it. I can feel it. My intuition is telling me, spirit is telling me. But that ain't what this is. With the devil out here, that is not what you're being told. That is what you're trying to convince yourself of to make this go away, to make this true instead of this true. This is like a spiritual trap. This is feeling a lot like trying to import all this spirituality onto another person or onto a relationship and have some sort of like spiritual soul level justification for the pain that I'm going through. And using that is a form of, it's like using the pain to give meaning to something. It's like, this has to be powerful because look at how much pain is involved in it. And that's not how it works. It's a form of escapism. This is not intuition guiding you to blend back together. This is intuition is telling. This is sometimes a spot where I can't tell the difference between what's my intuition versus that fear voice in the back of my head, or just as bad, that fantasy voice in the back of my head. If you're hearing a voice, whether that voice is telling you, yes, this is meant to be, or you're hearing the voice that's saying, run. If it's a voice, it is not your unconscious mind. It is not your intuition. That's the conscious mind trying to get involved. There's history between the two of you. There's a deep emotional connection, I have no doubt. But don't try to spiritualize it, because that is part of what keeps you trapped. There's this history of your intuition telling you something and you choosing to be patient and try to balance it out. And it's not a history of your intuition telling you to do that. It's a history of you not hearing your intuition. There's a history of not being fully happy and something being missing. And there's probably a history of this person not ever being happy and always having some other hot chick on his mind, some other third energy on his mind. Maybe even a history of that happening and them detaching and having new cups. I don't feel for a second like this is the first time you have been on this particular amusement park ride with this person. And there's probably a history of your intuition telling you what's going on. I'm having trouble with this King of Swords here, because I feel like sometimes that King of Swords is your logic and reason and common sense going, dude, put the emotions away and just look at what's happened. And then other times I feel like this King of Swords is you engaging the conscious mind to rationalize away certain things that allow you to keep your head in the loop without facing this thing that's obviously wrong. It's almost like I'm convincing myself to stay in this instead of there's definitely a conflict with your thinking and a conflict with your emotions and your thinking, like butting heads. The final card here for you is the Hermit. This is Virgo's major arcana. This is a card of withdrawal and isolation. A lot of times this will represent that communication has shut down between the two of you and we're not communicating anymore. They've done detached and moved on with this new cup, and I'm still here doing soul searching about the past, doing soul searching about all this intuition that I've had, doing soul searching about how do I recalibrate either this or how do I recalibrate myself. This is really supposed to be about you recalibrating you and leaving the burden of this behind you so that you can move forward and create what you actually want. The recalibration is not of this connection with them. It's a recalibration of you. This is doing soul searching, deep inner reflection, deep contemplation. It's shining, like the thing that's in his lantern is the Star card. And it's about shining that into yourself, into your own shadows, and going inside to look for what is it about me that needs to be adjusted so that I can actually move forward without this burden. And I can move forward with the lesson so it doesn't happen again. So I can move forward toward what I want and create the life that I want and the kind of stability that I deserve, and the stability of the home life and the family life and the connection that I create. Like, that all needs to be under your control. And this is supposed to be the time when you look inside yourself to find those areas that you've been guided to recalibrate for yourself so that the past doesn't happen to you again. But I've got this Hermit energy is attached to them detaching and walking away. Now, maybe this is you looking inside yourself with just straight truth, factual honesty, and looking at this whole bit where 8 is the best you've gotten, and you deserve the 9th and the 10th cup. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have someone love you as much as you love them. And this person isn't going to do that. And maybe this is about you looking inside yourself and recognizing that and doing the adjustments that you need to do to allow yourself to walk away for what you deserve. The only way you're getting this Ace of Cups is if it's you pouring into yourself with the same amount of vigor that you try to pour into them. This is about like training the universe on what you deserve. That's your energy. Scoot this over some. I'm sorry this one's getting heavy, and I'm sorry I'm having to like say things about like spiritual bypassing, for example, and convincing myself of things that aren't true and calling it intuition when it's really just the fantasy voice. But these are things that need to be said and need to be looked at and need to be examined deeply so that you can move forward and create what you actually want. Because what this is a misplaced, distorted amount of emotions where it's all placed on the external person. And that's part of the trap of it. That's part of what makes it distorted. And it's what keeps you from being able to move on. Like, this is very difficult to walk away from because it's something that you fully believe is what you want, but it's not what you want. And it is, this kind of energy is fully capable of making you twist this around and say, it's my intuition is guiding me to this person. I'm spiritually pulled to them. And that is saying bullshit. That's lying to yourself. I have to get into their energy, and I don't want to. I got Four of Swords as their first most important card. I have Page of Pentacles as their central energy, and their final card, Nine of Swords and the Devil. Four of Swords is Libra energy. This is a stability energy, but it's stability of the mind, stability of the thinking. This is taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break, chilling out, trying to calm my mind down so I can figure out what to do. Sometimes people break up and they don't say we're done and we're never getting back together. They say, well, let's take some time apart. Let's take a break. Let's take a time out. We're on a break. Could be that. What do we have here? That might be why I'm seeing all this reconciliation energy all over your energy, is because maybe that's what they told you. We're going to take a break and then start over at square one. And that ain't what is happening here. Underlying this take a break, take a pause, calm my mind down, I got Three of Pentacles. Teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value, laying the foundations for 10 of Pentacles, combined together life. It makes very little sense why, if I already have 10 of Pentacles with you, why am I trying to lay the foundations for building it? Like, you don't build the house and then try to put the foundation underneath it. That's out of order. It's because they're putting in work as equals somewhere else. Like Page of Wands. It's the minor arcana version of the Fool. It's the person who's doing the passionate communications, passionate messages, expressing interest or desire, taking the first steps down this new path toward this thing they have passion and desire for. And there's something that they have hope attached to as well here. Like I said, though, you don't get to the star without the Tower happening. And even though the Tower has kind of like been skipped over here and it's not actually on the table, nor have I seen it, I know it's happened already. During this time, whatever this pause, this break is at the very beginning, they're already hoping for something. And they're already taking the first steps on something. And they're hoping for is happiness. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. And that's tied to this early stage, not fully developed all the way plan they have for the future. Their next card I'm going to get to next is this same Page of Pentacles. They have a plan already. And I know they do because the very first clarifier for this Four of Swords is the Emperor. This is a master manifestor energy. It's someone who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to put together a plan to get what they want and execute the plan to get what they want. This is the person who takes control, takes charge. They're making the rules. They're calling the shots. They're deciding what this break is. Right across the aisle, the first card in that same row is the lying, cheating, sneaking around behind your back. The internal conflict, the blending two things together to make something new. They're in control of whether you two can be recombined or not. And this internal conflict means you're pulling one way and they're pulling a different way. You guys are not pulling this cart toward the same destination. You're playing tug of war. Now, also with this take a pause, I'm taking control, I get this Nine of Swords, which is out here with the Devil as their final card. Fear, worry, and anxiety. This is Gemini energy. This is thinking about something over and over and over again with all this fear and worry behind their thinking and doing that to the point that it's stressful. Like this is mental anguish, sleepless nights, nightmares, can't concentrate, can't eat. It's like my mind is a wreck. And the person has their eyes covered because in their mind it's so bad they don't want to open their eyes and look at it. They don't want to face it. This person has some kind of fear about losing control, not being in control anymore. This directly across the aisle from the fear is the intuition. And like I said, a lot of people have a hard time telling the difference between what's my intuition versus that fear voice in the back of my head. There's the fear voice. It's confused. I can't tell which of these is speaking to me. That's what I'm feeling from your energy here. A lot of times, look, we've got this person who has this toxic thing driving them, impulses, urges, unconscious behavior, shit that they're not willing to face and admit to, shadow element stuff. The king who doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. So if this person loves you, you don't know that they love you because they don't express this and make it obvious. If this person is going through emotional turmoil, if this person is in mental anguish, you are not going to know that. You're not going to be able to pick that up because they're good at masking. They're good at masking. This person can convince you of whatever they need you to believe based on how you feel about them. And we've got that type of a person juggling two people and taking these impulsive, like this is narcissist energy. I'm not saying that 100% guarantee you this person's a narcissist. I'm not saying that. But there's definitely narcissistic qualities I'm seeing all over the place. I'm seeing empathic qualities all over the place. I understand this because I've been through it myself. A narcissist feeds off of us empaths. Feeds off of us. We are food for them. They do not give a shit about us any more than I care about the chicken when I had chicken McNuggets earlier. You know, it's like I give zero thought to that chicken. It's a source of nutrients for me. And that's what this feels like. That's what this feels like. I'm juggling. I'm taking all these actions with no worry about the consequences. I'll just rationalize it. But there's worry about the consequences. There's fear. I got your intuition. I've got 3 cups of love and a combined together life. And I'm afraid. Probably because I've betrayed you. 5 of Swords is Aquarius energy. It's a betrayal. It's sometimes a big fight. Sometimes this is a person who has this winning at all costs mentality. Like, I am going to get what I want. I am running the show. I'm the boss. I'm the important one. And as long as I get what I want, that's all I'm really worried about. I'm worried about me getting what I want. And if you get hurt in the process, well, that's terrible for you. I am so sorry, but I'm getting what I want. There's a history. I'm never happy. And I've got this new thing on my mind all the time. And there's this new hot chick that I have on my mind. And there's a history of that. There's a history of betrayal. Now, maybe this is the first time this person has betrayed you, but this is not the first time this person has done something like this. Central for them is that either communications about a physical opportunity that's presenting itself. A lot of times that'll be like, hey, I'm going to be at this place on this day at this time. We should meet up. So there's the physical opportunity. This is sometimes just an early stage plan for my future, and it's not fully developed all the way yet. I did see a lot of waiting type energy and me doing whatever the hell I want during this pause, where maybe this is a break between the two of you. Maybe this is a spot where they're waiting on the right circumstances to be able to just cut bait. And in the meantime, they're sneaking around and juggling too, and they don't want to get caught because they don't want the big fight. They don't want the hassle of it. Underlying this not fully developed plan, 3 of Pentacles. That's what was on the bottom before I even shuffled, and you watched me shuffle it. Capricorn energy, teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something. 6 of Pentacles. Now, this could be them communicating an opportunity with you. this can sometimes represent balance, as in, like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, we take care of each other. It's equal give and take. It could be balancing this back out. However, this is the merchant, and he is giving to two people in the physical sense. So that can represent he's got someone behind his back that he's also giving to. While you guys are working together, he's working together somewhere else with this new thing. That's juggling two people. It makes sense to me. When I clarify this Page of Pentacles, I get 10 of Cups, Queen of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. 10 of Cups, Pisces energy, happily ever after, happy fairy tale romance, happy fairy tale ending. This is most people's goal in love and relationships. It's two people together. Like, this is very rarely talking to me about happily ever after, especially with, like, oh, come on, dude. Lying, cheating, stealing, secrets, third party, all this internal conflict, all this not being happy, this being stuck inside myself, trying to figure out how do I not let go of this and we fix it so I can make what I want, like someone in control, betrayal, toxic, misplaced energy here. Does that sound like happily ever after, true love, fairy tale romance? No, it doesn't. And that's what this card is normally about. The distorted element. Every card has positive and negative associations to it. The negative piece to the 10 of Cups is the happily ever after, happy fairy tale component. Because we all want that so bad that we delude ourselves. We lie to ourselves. We want our relationship to be this so bad that we sweep red flags away. We sweep shit under the rug. We ignore bad behavior. We look the other way, because if any of that shit is really true, this can't be. And I want this to be true. And every time my real intuition's talking to me, it's telling me shit I don't want to hear. It's telling me there's a third party. It's telling me there's a history of there being a third party. Someone from their past is here. My intuition's telling me there's another queen involved here. My intuition's telling me something's way off with them. But we'll ignore that, because everything your intuition's telling you is shit you don't want to hear. You don't want any of that to be true, because if that stuff's true, this cannot be. And I want this to be. So this could just be that they are in control of you because of this idealized viewpoint you have of the relationship, this idealized viewpoint of how much credit you're giving this person based on what you feel about them instead of what the facts of their behavior has demonstrated to you. This could even represent that this person has got themselves convinced with this not fully developed plan that this new cup of love is going to jump straight to the 10 of Cups. And I will freely tell you, I see people every single day. I do a lot of personal readings that think that this is how it works. I meet a new person and, ooh, this is great. Immediately go straight to fairy tale, happy ending, true love, happily ever after. This is my person. This is my one. This is my twin flame. Like, that ain't how it works. It doesn't go straight from 1 to 10. You're missing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the middle of there. 9 probably being the most important one, because you can't possibly get to 10 of Cups until you're in the 9 of Cups first, where you don't have any leaks. You're not bleeding toxic shit all over the place. And they definitely aren't there. So this is a pipe dream at best. If they think this new person is happily ever after and they're in control of that, they're full of shit. What that looks like to me is I'm using to control you the thing that I know you want. You want this to be happily ever after. And if I can make you think it is, you'll do anything I tell you to do. That's how I can manipulate you. This is someone who is using the emotions as some toxic control mechanism. There's two control energies in tarot. I have them both. The devil that's affecting you, and the emperor is who they are. They're running things, and they're running it through you. Queen of Cups is Cancer. Seeing yourself as the counterpart to them, and this happily ever after fairy tale love connection that has the devil with it. I swear to you, the devil is one of those things that looks exactly like what you want. At the beginning, it feels exactly like what you want. It is so good that it's almost like custom made just to fool you. It won't fool your mom or your sister or your best friends that care about you. They will feel it, but you won't. You'll be convinced that this is it, which is what gets us to willingly stick our head in the noose. Gets us to stick our head in the loop where we give up all control, all power, and something else has control. And he's using this idea of true love and happily ever after against you. There's you tied to all this fear, worry, and anxiety and stress that maybe I won't get my 10 of Cups, and he's the one in control of my 10 of Cups. And he's paused, and he's doing whatever the he wants to. Betrayal, doesn't matter. Mental, psychological pain, too bad. I'm getting what I want. Also part of his plan, he's got 4 of Pentacles here. This really feels like blueprint for how I'm controlling you and getting what I want. Early stage plan, put together a plan. Both of those plan cards are connected to happily ever after, fairy tale romance, true love and happiness. And that card is connected to you. I don't have to control you if I can control the thing you want more than life itself. The thing that you're holding on to and don't want to let go of doesn't matter that I hurt you, because you still want that so bad. And if you get that, it was worth it. This is so looking like someone who is convincing themselves that the pain that they feel is part of the journey. And the pain, the more that it hurts, the more worthwhile it's going to be in the end. And that is the biggest crock of shit fallacy. It is spiritual bypassing at its finest. And this person feels like they're using your spirituality and your emotions as the way to control you. And it starts off just emotions, and it looks like somehow your spirituality gets used to rationalize this and call it intuition, call it being guided, call it spirit wants this for me. But that is not anything even close to what's actually happened. It's just a matter of you are clinging on to this fairy tale idea so hard. It's like a white knuckle grip that it doesn't matter how much pain you get from it. I'm not letting go. I'm just not. I'm fighting for this. Now, this is also a person who isn't letting go of something that they're wanting, something they have a plan to get. And sure, it requires people to be hurt in order to get it, but they don't care. And this is also very defensive, fight for what I want kind of an energy, fight to get what's important to me kind of an energy. Hell, this can also be defensive energy that's tied to you. And maybe everything I've said about the spiritual bypassing and the using, hiding behind calling it my intuition to justify this and all that kind of stuff, happily ever after. Maybe everything I've said about that is triggering the fuck out of you, and you're getting super defensive about it. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just being real with you, and I can't play along with someone's fantasy and help them at the same time. Final card in your person's energy came out as 2, 9 of Swords and the Devil. We've already got the 9 of Swords in their energy. We've got the Devil in the shared energy. Fear, worry, anxiety, stress, and heavy toxic energy, something in control that's not them. Okay. This one too, got you. Make sure nothing else flipped there. This one has been heavy, Cancer. My back is like, it's got a huge, like Charlie horse type feel in it, like right between my left shoulder blade and my spine. The Fool. Blind leap of faith, new beginning. I'm just going for it. It doesn't matter how fearful and worried I am. I'm not in control. Some unconscious drive, urge, impulse is in control. And I'm just going for it. I've waited. He's waited. And this is not a new thing. He's been struggling to rein himself in and hold himself back and not let himself make some kind of a mistake that he would regret later. I think maybe he already did something at some point that he was worried that he was going to get caught about. Well, clearly, lying, sneaking, hiding something from you. Maybe up until this point, you hadn't found out yet and they were still worried. But this is like forced patience, like waiting when I don't want to. And I'm just dying to just go and I can't. I'm still waiting some more. Like this is waiting on the seeds that I've planted to be able to do something with it. You know, like I'm waiting on it to pan out and stuck in my head and can't quit thinking about it. Can't quit thinking about forward movement romantically. This person's so weird. Like this almost feels like a person who has gotten themselves convinced that this bright new shiny thing that I'm chasing, when I get that, I'm really going to be happy. Only that's probably been part of their pattern. Like they're never happy. There's always this new thing that they want. And when they get the new thing, it's cool for like 20 minutes. And then I want a different new thing. It's probably part of their toxic loop here. When I clarify 9 of Swords, the Devil, Ace of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. Ace of Swords, the sword of truth, the sword of victory, the sword decisions are made with. It's the sword that you cut someone away with. I got this happily ever after, the Emperor being in control, this sword that severs it, all this worry and anxiety tied to the truth. I really feel like this is someone, if the truth actually comes out all the way, this isn't going to be as effective as it used to be. 5 of Pentacles. There's Taurus energy. This is abandonment. This is cast aside, left out in the cold, walking away, breakup energy. There's the sword you use to sever someone out of your life. The breakup, that's walking away into the future, away from Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. And what she's left facing is something she doesn't want to look at because it's so mentally painful. And I get it, man. I get it. Especially if you're in that spot where for a period of time you've been spiritualizing this connection and importing all of this extra spiritual meaning onto the connection, and maybe saying that fantasy voice is my intuition as a way to try to like prop it up and make it real. When you lose something like that and you've put all of that onto it, it's much heavier. It's much harder to get away from. Then it carries all of this extra meaning. And you're not just losing the person, you're losing what you believed this person and the connection between the two of you meant spiritually even. So you're losing a lot here. So I understand not wanting to face it. I get that. The only reason I can recognize any of this stuff is because I've been in this position before. I get it. I know what it feels like. That's the only way I can recognize it. The final clarifier for 9 of Swords and the Devil is the 6 of Wands. This is Leo energy. This is recognition. This is them being recognized for something. Probably this forward movement. They're moving into the future. advancing successfully. This could be a part of a message for you. Like, you got this pinnacle of the sword suit, the truth suit, the logic, common sense mind, and this fact, this truth of abandonment, and recognizing that. If you're struggling with, is this over or not? Can we still fix this? The truth is what sets you free here. It's the abandonment. It's recognizing that and walking away from it and moving forward. I don't know that that's what you're doing, because in that same row, I got holding on to it and not wanting to let go. And I've also got mental, psychological pain, betrayal. This is not what you want. If you're holding on to this thing because of the pain, pain does not equal love. Pain does not equal importance. Pain does not prove the connection is spiritual. Like, that is all made up, imported bullshit that our egos use to justify and rationalize and explain away things to make it fit what we want to hear. And I'm not saying that you are 100% doing that. I'm just saying that that feeling hit me hard over here. And I recognize that feeling because I have been there before. And someone watching this is in that spot. And this card is like, I don't even remember where the hell it goes, but it's that card about being triggered and defensive and blocking, and I'm defending my position on it, which this position is based on internal conflict and fallacy and obsessive energy and toxicity and something that's controlling you. So if I'm triggering you right now, go back to the Hermit. There's something in there for you. And what I'm saying is kind of pushing on that piece of glass that's still in you that needs dug out, because it's never going to heal until you do that.